you all here this evening. I understand this is the first such gathering that we've had since COVID, so it's really fantastic to be able to do that again. And I'm sure, as many of you know, Iceland has a long literary tradition dating back to the sagas, and I think it must be something to do with the long, cold, windy winter nights that's conducive to a storytelling culture. And we're, of course, very proud that our stories are now reaching a wider audience and being translated into many different languages, and sometimes even being turned into television programs. And tonight, we have two fantastic authors with us to promote their books which have been published into English. We have Deceit by Jónína Leósdóttir, and we have Harm by Sólveig Pálsdóttir. Sorry. Sorry, apologies. That was an old politician, I think. Not to be confused with you, obviously. I know that I don't know about you, but there's nothing that better that I know of than curling up with a hot drink and a good book, especially with the winter months approaching. And so I'm very much looking forward to adding these two books to my reading list. Both of them have been published by Corylus Books, which is a nano publisher, I understand, which specializes in crime fiction, and they have managed to publish books that might not otherwise have reached audiences. They've had books, I think, from Romanian, Icelandic authors in French, translated into English, and it's crime fiction, a specialism in crime fiction with a social dimension. And I know that they're also very happy that the majority of their authors so far are women, so that's very exciting. So I want to invite now the publishers to come and tell you a little bit more about themselves and about the books. So Sanda Ionescu and Jacky Collins.
Isn't there something special about the birth of a book? And especially when you can touch that book. I totally agree. We were talking before. It's great when you travel, you know, and you can have so many books on screen, and it's really important. But when you're there at home, and you can just curl up with the book. I would definitely recommend that you curl up with these books, but not if you want to sleep well. Our authors have provided us with texts that chill, that thrill, and that leave you questioning human nature, and are we really better or worse? Well, I'll leave you read the books and you can decide. But anyway, Sandra, Marina Sofia, however I'm allowed to call you, wonderful colleague, I wonder if you could tell us, how did this all start?
Well, there were a group of people, we kept bumping into each other at various crime festivals, and we were all avid readers, and we thought, isn't it a shame that sometimes there's not a great variety in what gets translated in terms of crime fiction, but also perhaps more generally? You know, not all Nordic detectives are alcoholic and dysfunctional and grim and, you know, moody. Not all East Europeans are, you know, traumatized by their communist past. We're sure that there's something, well, partially. So, you know, maybe there is a bit more variety out there. And we were ranting about that. And then at some point we thought, rather than complaining, why don't we do something about it? So we just got together and decided, well, let's do the translation ourselves and share it with the English-speaking audience.
Yeah, it was so important to bring to those, as you say, those English reading, you know, the audience, because for many years we'd met these authors and we know that they are so popular at home. We know that their books sell widely. We know that they are favourite go-to authors. I mean, Jónína, I know that your books from the library, they're the most taken out books from the library. So, what is it that these authors have got, and why do we not get them? And I'm ashamed to say that my Icelandic is about that big. But I knew from what I was hearing about these authors that they had something and it had to be brought into translation. And I'm glad, so glad for those meetings of bumping into each other and letting that happen. It's a small affair, it's a very intimate affair, and people have got so many other things they need to do. But it matters to us that voices and stories that we think should be heard. And so thank you, because tonight it's not just celebrating one, but 2 books. Sólveig, we have 3 of your books out, but I think, you know, this is Jónína's first book out as well, and so why don't you both come down and let me ask you some questions, if that's all right?
Okay.
Come on either side of me.
My first book, but my first practice.
Come on. I know we're not to be too close.
Oh,
We mustn't be too close.
No.
Although we'd love to be close, but we mustn't be close. Maybe one day we'll be able to hug properly again.
Maybe.
And that, yeah, if we're allowed. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start with Sólveig first, if that's all right. This is book 3 in the Ice and Crime series. And again, it's great if you've not read the first 2. Well, you know Christmas is coming. Get that large to be red pile. 2 detectives, and again, good Guy Franson.
Good gift, no sure.
Good Franson,
Yes.
and Elsa Gudrun.
Yeah, in English.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Oh, why is she in Icelandic?
Just good one.
Just Gudrun.
Yes.
Yeah, you gave her Elsa. Should we get a bit more in English?
Me and Quentin, we had a little talk.
Yeah, you know, when Quentin says,
Yeah.
we need to talk.
Yeah.
We had a character called Guðgeir and a character
Yeah, that was
called
G,
Guðrún.
G,
They were too
G.
close together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so to help us with the
Yeah.
Getcha. And so 6 books in the series. We have 3 of them in English, and you've written a memoir as well, an extremely successful memoir. The first book in Iceland, the actor, Leikanin, came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So this again is another moment to celebrate. 10 years.
Yeah.
This is fabulous.
Yeah.
But we're here to celebrate. Get hold of a copy. Hold that baby close to you. Come on. Get hold of her. Yes, look. You can't hold your name. You have to hold your own.
And Jónína?
Yeah, come on.
It's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah. How does it feel?
Good.
Does it feel good? Yeah. Back home.
Yeah.
So the Fox and Silenced, they have won awards.
Yes, Silence.
Silence,
It's called
yeah.
Fjötra in
And it
Icelandic.
won the Blood Drop.
Yes,
Yeah.
the best crime
And then
story
that
of
one
the
was
year.
put forward to the Glaskey Award,
Yes.
the Nordic.
Yeah, but didn't win.
Yeah. Never mind. It's a slow burn. It's great. But I wanted to ask you one, and I know we can't, because lots of people want to talk to you, so I don't want to monopolise. But I wanted to ask you a question about harm. Okay? And I wanted to ask, there's that character at the backdrop, which of course is Iceland. It's the, that landscape. To what extent is that landscape important in your writing?
It's really important. Yeah, because I travel a lot around Iceland. I'm the one that can't stay in Reykjavik for the whole summer. I have to travel. So I get my ideas from the places I visit, and I get inspiration from the nature. And I was, when I got the idea of harm, I was in Westman Islands, Vestmannaeyjum, because of another book, my memoir. Yes, I was thinking about writing that book. And I stayed in Herjólfsdalur, which is a huge thing in the book. And instead of just thinking about my great-great-great-grandmother, as I was so supposed to do, I started to think about this doctor dying. Yeah, the body of the doctor who has a huge history.
and that one.
Yeah.
So
when we read this,
Yeah.
we should remember when that inspiration came and how that came.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite unique, the nature in Western Islands. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you that you give us the story but take us to the place as well. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, Jónína Leósdóttir. Yes, you. Actually, thinking of these two books, it sounded like a really dodgy legal firm, Harm and Deceit. But 13 books to your name of different kinds.
Different genres.
Yeah,
yes.
And then, as it says on your webpage, I love it. You decided to turn to crime.
I turned to crime.
Yeah. And I know, as I've said before, I know the Icelandic reading public were thrilled that you did. It stands there by the number of books borrowed and bought on the Edda series.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping one day that Edda will, because women of a certain age deserve to be out there and not be invisible. I think it's really important. But
She is the Icelandic Miss Marple.
yeah, definitely. Or we have to learn Icelandic, and that's the other challenge. Yeah. But last year, you started work
On a new series.
I don't know whether I should call it the Adam and Sophia series.
Why not?
I don't know whether I should just call it the Sophia series. How would you call your series?
In Iceland, there's a subtitle with the name of the company, psychological firm that the Adam, he's a psychologist from the UK, and he works at it's like a bit of a joke, the name of the company where he works. So it's like a health center or something for psychologists. It's called Sálo, which is like a shortening of, it's really like psycho. So psycho is the undertitle in Icelandic, but I think Quentin probably didn't think it would work here.
The Psycho series.
The Psycho series.
Psycho's been done before.
Yeah, and it might give a wrong impression.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't give the wrong impression about that. I'm intrigued though by the fact of a British expat. Why a UK citizen in Iceland? Why not just keep it within?
It's probably because I love England and I used to live here, and I love the English gentleman and the courtesy, always saying excuse me, sorry, and whatever. We don't have that in Iceland, so I wanted to have opposites. The Icelandic woman, she is the detective, she is sort of a bulldozer, like an Icelandic bulldozer. She just pulls up her sleeves and gets going.
Yeah.
And they used to be a couple, and I wanted to have a lot of things that sort of didn't go well together, like an ex-couple working together, solving crime, and also this proper English gentleman and this bulldozer Icelandic woman, Viking woman who wanted to get things done, and she sort of controls him a little bit. But he gets his way also.
Also. I think I am so pleased that there's a new duo in town. That sense of getting to know these people and the way they work, and as you say, that tension because they've got history, and how that plays out on the page. Again, I don't want us to do too much with this because you've really got to read the books, but there is something that we really do need to do, because there's somebody who never really wants to say anything. Isn't there? Yes, come hither, good sir. I think it's so important, all right, that tonight I want to thank the authors, Corylus Books, for bringing these authors' work. Eva, you've been tremendous in getting things together. You've been awesome, you really have, yeah?
Thank you, Mike. It's been amazing to do it with the staff at the Embassy.
Yeah. Thank you to the Embassy and the caterers as well, which is lovely, thank you. But we wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for this man. It's as simple as that. Because he is the one. Yeah, I know it's true. Just take it. Just take it. He is the one that does all the hard, wonderful, skillful, delicious work with the language. And the other thing is, he doesn't just do it for these authors, he does it for other authors as well. And I think your selfless, dogged determination, I think we celebrate that tonight. We celebrate the work of these authors, and we celebrate your translation work, because it's just awesome. So I would like to raise a toast, if that's possible. It's you're hiding it, so I would like to propose a toast to crime in translation, fabulous authors, and the most necessary translators.
Yes, yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Go.
Cheers.
Go. And if you'd like to purchase books, Quentin, are you taking the filthy lucre?
There is a deal.
If there is any,
Take it,
do you have a machine to swipe?
No.
No. So, well,
We're not that high-tech.
we're not that high tech. Well, yeah. Talk to Quentin. He's got a few books there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, Jacky.